the last consultation that we had. And then they're confident that they're going to submit partial report, but on different themes. So Myanmar will focus on theme 5 and 7. Am I right? 5 and 7. Thailand theme 1, 2, 3. Singapore on section 1 about inventorying, about the collaboration, and to focus on the hawker culture. And for Cambodia, I think you just came in when he was telling us. And then what Dr. Alex did also is just ask him about any challenges. And we answered some queries. For example, like, what are the technical terms? What does it mean? And also like how to fill in, a comprehensive list of information, but consolidated for the limited space allowed. So basically just that, I think. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And may I
actually,
And did I miss anything, Alex?
well, just that we have a follow-up question that we'll need to put to Janet about the competent bodies, because it's Sata had a question about
yes,
whether those
yeah,
all need to be listed, and I just said that my guess is that the kind of motivation for that is that you have all of those competent bodies then consolidated in one place, where and that's the kind of logic of having them all, and it's a reference for the future as well. But again, it could potentially be a very long list with many contact details, and so I guess the question,
yeah. So
if
Satha,
it's really
I also reached out to Alessandro on a technical part of it as well, just to check whether like it is okay to add like gazillion stakeholders, like organizations as you have, which I will also share the answers to all countries, because I think Thailand also is having the same problem with like we have like so many organizations to include in the section B.1. And so that could also be very useful for all the countries to know as well, that how to what is the limit they can put in, and what is the level of concerns for different organizations that should be put in as well. So thank you very much for bringing that up, so all of us benefit.
Thanks, LK.
Yeah.
Ha. So I think like one of the key objectives for this follow-up gathering, as we're doing here, we're not going to take so much of your time, but probably like since we're here with the 3 countries that have already gone through the one-on-one consultation, if you might be able to feedback for us a little bit whether such kind of sessions are useful for you, or what else would you like like in addition to what we've been doing for you. So if possible, can we start with Masu? Sue? Would you like to start, Sue, on Myanmar?
Yes. Thanks, LK. Depends on the 2 one-on-one meeting, and we understand and we clear the point what we have to prepare, and we have to find another detail points. So hopefully they can be finished on end of this month, and they will transmit to me. And after that, if needed, and I'm not clear at that point, I will discuss with them, and after that I will forward to 3 of you for those points. But until now is they said they are okay, and they understand what they have to feel. So I think hopefully it will be okay. And at first I just explained that they have the problem is that they can't fill up by themselves, and they have to transmit to me, and I have to fill the form. That's why they don't know the word count, and they said some of the points different with that non-submission form and online form. That's why I checked with Mr. Nicholas from UNESCO, and he told me that just if there is no box to fill up the explain details, it is okay to just put to choose the bullet points. It is enough for that. He explained it like that. So hopefully it will be okay. And end of this month, I will read all of these things, and I will forward to 3 of you. Yeah.
Thank
That's my
you.
plan. Thank you, Elke.
I think you can also like check the offline form against the simulation form, the online simulation form as well, because I think you have the password for the simulation one. Yes.
Yes. Now it's like that. I check the online form, and
Mhm.
I discuss with
Yeah.
them, and I set them which parts have to fill up the 300 and which parts they have to fill up the 150 word counts. They are trying to be like just mix, just fit those word count.
Mhm.
So
Well, the like I think the word count thing you could also use with the word file to check the word counts, and hopefully that's not going to be a lot of burden for them as well. Thank you so much. But like after all, like from our two meetings with Myanmar team, do you think it's okay? Is there anything else that you're still worried about?
it's very useful for us, and I discussed with the Deputy Director General from Line Ministry of Culture and Religious Affairs, and they said it's very useful for discuss, and your comments and your suggestion. It's very useful. And one of the problem is they have the small teams in their ministry as well to handle for the ICH, and they have to to cover the like other convention 9070 or other things as well, WAC as well. So DDG said to me that they try to be the perfect, and depends on your suggestions and comments. They try to fit your the form needs. Yeah. The things. So it will
Okay,
be okay.
rooting for you. Okay, so probably next Thailand. After our first like really long meeting that went over time
เวลาน้อยมาก
a lot.
Yes, for Thailand team, we find it very useful that we have the one-on-one meeting, so we feel like อุ่นใจ you know, like talking to our coach, and then we have some clarify according to the question that we have misunderstood about it. So you clarify about it. Yeah, it's very useful about the
Okay.
meeting. And for the
Yes.
next meeting, there will be more in our team. So
Oh, okay.
you see a lot of people in our team more and more.
How many are you in the team? 5,
So
6?
right now there will be 2 more. Yeah.
Mhm. I see. Okay. We look forward to going overtime again next time. Yes. Yes, and if you have any particular worry, like the challenges in getting information or something, we can raise that up. Like if we cannot help, at least we get to look out for you, or trying to find somebody who might be able to provide information or anything for you as well, because we have like a certain level of knowledge in different countries that we're working on, like in Thailand, Singapore, Laos, Cambodia. We will be able to manage to find somebody. If, for example, some of the ICH work is done in the Ministry of Education, and if you would like to have a specific person who was working on that, we will be able to connect for you as well.
Thank you. That's very useful. Okay. Thank you very much.
Yes. So last but not least, Sattha and Bernadette.
Okay. Yeah, we just wanted to say thanks, and that the group sessions and even the WhatsApp group chat and these smaller group discussions have been very useful. And also hearing about what the other states are experiencing and how they manage to overcome these issues. I think that discussion has really helped us. In addition, of course, to the one-to-one sessions where we really went through the form in detail and got your comments. So yes, that was very, very good. It helped so much. So we had one question for the facilitators too. In these groups, the smaller group settings and in the one-to-one discussions, what has been like your main observation or comments that you have that you can share with us too, please?
That was my question, but anyway, please answer, Vinina. Sattha just took over the moderation.
I love this. It's like, really the egalitarian approach. We learn from each other. So just to quickly share my observation of one-on-one consultation sessions. So divide into first about a technical part. I think everyone here is trying to understand what the form wants. Like the question, sometimes you have to read it many times and how to like interpret them. I think that's same with all the countries, and in all the sessions we had some questions to discuss about, just like how you asked us just now. So I think that is like just the norm that is happening. And then secondly, in terms of anxiety, let's talk about the psychological stuff. A lot of anxiety about number one, a lot either like too much information and don't know how to deal with it. And the second is lack of information. And lack of information could come from, lack of existing data collection system or something like that. But that kind of a useful reflection for the country, because they will realize that, oh, this is missing and we need to have that, establish that or strengthen that. So some of you have actually gone back to your working team in the country to discuss about this. Too much information. About the anxiety of too much information is actually kind of easier to deal with, because it's just a matter of how to help you, do the grouping of information and do the selection of whether this is relevant or not. So I think basically two main things that are happening. And then the last part, just checking my notes. Yeah, I think another interesting observation is because since you all represent and work in governmental agencies, right? So to be honest, and this is a well-meant observation, is that many of you tend to get stuck in the mentality or mindset of interpreting the questions or the answers based on what will the government officers do or how do they look at this. But again, reflecting the convention spirit, just the purpose of all this, even though we're going through a lot of bureaucratic process, is actually to reflect on how it's actually done on the ground, like with the community. So some information are not really strong in terms of, civic participation. But I understand that because a periodic report needs to show an overview of the country, so it's easier that you get the information from how your government agencies are implementing it, right? But yeah, I think that's one observation that it's not wrong, and I think it's great to do that because that's something that you know for sure. But if you could add information about the community, like community real action, real concern, or representative groups or bodies of communities, maybe not 100% community members, but maybe a kind of organization, association, formal, informal, that do have practitioner members as part of the group. I think this will really strengthen your country's implementation of the convention, and that it will be reflected in the report. And my my assumption is that actually everyone here, all the countries here, are very strong already in community participation. But it's that kind of way how to get that information, right? To really reflect about that. That is maybe not as strongly demonstrated yet. But again, the periodic report form is so what do you call it? The questions and the space allowed for number of words is limited anyway. So I think it's gonna be very hard for us to really put out as much information about the real practice, the real implementation. So just try your best, I guess, just to give an overview to the readers. Imagine that you're not from your country, you're not from this part of the convention, but you read it. What do you get out of this? Like, what is the big picture? What is the implementation of the convention? How is it going in terms of the ICH elements that have been listed already? Are they doing well? Do they get any benefit from this, like, listing? Or what about the elements that are not listed? How are they being safeguarded? Or maybe not targeting specific ICH elements per se, but what about the whole environment and ecosystem in the country or in the regions and communities? Like, how are they doing in terms of, practicing, fixing, or, you know, progressing, developing, or recreating ICH. Yeah, I think that that will be the good objective that you want to show to the readers. Yeah, that's my observation. Mm.
And Ajahn Alex ka?
Yes, well, Nina gave a very detailed and sort of comprehensive overview and observation, and I want to second the point about, I think, the challenge of including the perspective of communities, especially on these issues of diversity, and again, this term inclusivity, right? Because so many of the questions ask for a description of how communities are being consulted, involved, engaged in a kind of participatory and bottom-up way. And how do you do that? How do you actually summarize that, given the incredible diversity of all of your countries? So it is I think, a process of selection, a sort of combination of summarizing, so providing some key illustrations or examples that give a sense of that inclusivity. And I also wanted to say that I've observed, one of the observations I've had is just your close reading of the periodic report, and the questions that you've brought to us have really, in many cases, revealed to me some of the misunderstandings or gaps that I, have about this forum as well. Like at one point, I know I think it was Masu who asked about development interventions, right? So I realized that, well, yeah, I actually don't really understand what that question is asking for in terms of how do development interventions recognize the importance of ICH. What development interventions? That's a vast question.
Yeah.
Sure, we're talking about policy. What development, so I think your close reading has really, for me, highlighted the ways in which this kind of reporting process could be, let's say, simplified, clarified. I think there are ways in which I think it's going to be important to draw on your experiences to inform the next reporting process. Let's say, how can kinds of questions be made as kind of clear and sort of accessible as possible for the authors. So
your voice is breaking.
But yeah, otherwise, I mean,
yeah, just one moment.
Okay, well, sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yes, please continue.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, just overall that's been something that I've been impressed with, is just how closely you've read the report framework and are trying to understand what it is looking for and how to appropriately respond to it. And so that, shows a lot of commitment on your part. So, yeah.
May I just add one last point?
Yeah.
Sorry. So given all of these challenges, like my observation actually leads to respect for all of you. I mean, if I have to write that report, like, look at you in the countries, you like very small teams. Some of you are just one person per country to do everything, to report the whole thing. And it's like doing a big thesis, right? And then there's also the pressure that this is representing the country and all. But yeah, so I can't imagine the kind of pressure that you have, especially that you have to write a good report. But good report comes from good data. And I know that not the existing systems might not be, super like ideal at the moment, but I'm already impressed with your efforts and also the quality of the work that you have done. So respect. So you're doing well. So and don't worry, this is not like life or death. And the thing is, that's why we're all here, like the whole team, to help each other. And yeah, and I'm just wondering, like LK, because and Ajahn Alex, and because of Sata's question, it made me realize something. With all the individual countries' questions for us that we try to answer, or we try to ask Janet for clarification, we just share the answer back to the original question provider, right? But we should actually like share all with all of us.
I'm
No?
sharing to all. That's why I put it in the note that I sent it to you, that I said I'm going to be late. Those are some of the questions are from Sata as well, and the new question from Sata has not been answered on the section B.1. But what we can inform you, like this is a Sata's question as well as some other people question that I overheard from other region. So I just put together and I just give it all to you in case that would be useful as well. So just gonna read it out. You haven't read it out, right? So I'm going to read it out. So
Where did
Sata
you send
asks,
it? Email, law?
yeah, to say that I'm going to be late and that you run the show. Did you run the show? Okay.
Ajahn Alex did.
Okay.
She read all the
So
questions. Yeah.
that's great. So thank you, Ajahn Alex, for at least be the one checking email. From what Sata asked to the headquarters that I kind of transfer to the headquarters is on the issue about the partial submission on the 15th of June. So just to confirm to you again that the partial report that to be submitted on the 15th of June will be exclusively used for the global report on cultural policy at the Mondia Cult. So it's not going to be directly published in UNESCO website, so to say, but the full report later on, which you will submit at the end of the year on the 15th of December, that one is going to be the one that we will publicly published on UNESCO's website for the access, not only of the intergovernmental committee members, but also, publicly accessible. But for that one, like the intergovernmental committee, in addition to that, the intergovernmental committee member will access those files, and they will consider it for the discussion in the 20 sessions, which is in 2025. Okay, so that would be the time that the decision related to, or the decision or the feedbacks of the IGC related to the periodic reportings of the entire Asia Pacific region will be reflected on in 2025, which is around late 2025, around November. And in addition to that, I've also asked Nicolas, and Alessandro from headquarters to also compose a very short guidance email to all of you, to the entire Asia Pacific, a very short and clear step-by-step guide on how to click what to sign for the partial submission for the 15th of June, which they will shortly do so. They will send it to everyone. So that's our suggestion that we put forward for them to do in addition to what they have provided in the regional follow-up meeting. Because it's not quite entirely clear on, like, at the online interface, like, do we need to sign this one now? Do you need to click this one now, or what? At least we'll get that thing short and clear once and for all for everyone. So that's all, FYI. And another outstanding question from Sata on the amount of organizations to be put in section B1 will be answered soon, hopefully, either by Janet or by Nick. Yes, and if all of you, any of you have any questions, technical questions, content-based questions, just write an email to me right away. No need to wait until our one-on-one meeting or anything. If we can't answer it right away, we send it over to the headquarters or to the author of this form to answer it for you. Okay, so I guess that's pretty much all. Makara, would you like to say anything on behalf of Cambodia?
Sorry, because I'm contacting His Excellency Superior. He is right now in Kampot province and on driving to Kampot province for a mission. That's why I
No, but he already he WhatsApped me to say that he's not gonna be able to make time because of his he's following up after his sickness. But please pass the regard and tell him that he
Already
can
done?
reschedule. He can
Yes.
reschedule his one-on-one meetings anytime. Just
And,
let me know, and if
yes.
he needs that. Yeah.
Already done, and just remind him again. And the 15th June is the first submission.
Yeah. Better get it. He better
Already
get
done,
it.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Fitan's face is very worrying. Okay. Thank you for all of you, and sorry about my Thai glitch. From time to time, when I see Thai people, I speak Thai glitch. So, if there is no outstanding questions or any comments, then I think we can wrap it for a day. And thank you so much for coming together here and reflecting on what we're doing. And as we have been telling you, every time we meet, we're here for you. Any questions, shoot it to us. We will try our best to get it done because that's my KPI. We get everybody here submitting the report at least at the end of the year. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I just have I remember that this is kind of like recurring issue with many countries is that remember that this periodic report wants to report, you know, the ICH thing in your country, right? It's not only how it's done in the Ministry of Culture, let's say. So
yeah.
when you find information to report about safeguarding efforts or stakeholders or, you know, organizations, try to talk to other ministry and other kind, like for example, education. Or like you said, labor or etc., natural environment as well, because you're not just writing a report for one ministry, but for the whole the activities that are happening in the country. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because safeguarding is
exactly.
probably happening like everywhere. So make sure that you try to find that too. Yeah.
I agree. Case in point, like Singapore and Thailand, that you will discover that a lot has been done at schools and at the Ministry of Education in the process of filling in the theme 2 parts. Yeah.
ขอThailish as well. Thailand next meeting we have, is it on Thursday, right?
It's
Thursday.
yeah, it's Thursday.
ไม่ใช่
Together
31
with
เนาะ
Lao.
เป็นวันที่
ไม่
30ใช่ไหมพี่
30.
Okay.
Sorry, it's my fault. It's my fault. I wrote the wrong number.
อ๋อ
Tina,
โอเค
sorry.
ไม่เป็นไร
Yes.
ไม่เป็นไรได้ค่ะ see you
Too many meetings. Thank you so much, everyone, and have a good luck. Enjoy submitting this report and have a beer afterward.
or orange juice.
Orange juice.
Okay.
Oh my God, it's been
Bye.
recorded. Yes, bye-bye.
ขอบคุณค่ะ Thank
ขอบคุณ
you
ค่ะ
สวัสดีค่ะ
ครับยังครับ
Keep in
บ๊าย
touch.
บาย
ดูไปละ